Welcome back, everybody, to Sims Complete. I'm your host, Matt Sims, alongside Phil Sims. Big guy, good to see you again. I hope your off season is going well. The office behind you looks good. You got some new gear back there. Yeah, all right. You're still working on it?
Yeah. Well, I want more pictures of my grandchildren and, maybe a picture or two of some of my kids, but not too many of my kids.
Yeah, not too. You don't want to be reminded of those animals.
Yeah, dude. No, it's good. I want to get it fixed. I'll get it fixed before the season starts. The summer's coming. Little quick thing from you and me today. You've been busy as hell, teaching quarterbacks and this and that and making money. And me, I'm just sitting here and watching Diana, your mother, spend money. So it's evening out there somewhat.
Yeah, sounds like a typical Sims family summer. And,
yeah, right. Yeah, nothing like 50 degrees every day here in the Northeast, New Jersey. But it's warm outside today. It's humid and the hot weather is coming. And even though I hate the sun, I'm still excited about the fact that it's going to be warm. So
yeah, good thing for the teams up here in the north, though, for OTAs. It hasn't been blistering hot, so it's not beating them up too much. The rain, though, it's getting old, man. I don't know. I said this to my wife the other day. Just a good reminder to us, this is why we don't live in Seattle, because I couldn't do it, man. I don't like it. It's too much rain for us up here. Can't wait to see the sun again. That being said, everything is green. It looks beautiful outside, but hopefully the sun does come around here in this Northeast area a little bit more. Big guy, what else you got going on, man? What are some of the thoughts that you have? It's been a long break for us in Sims.
Oh, yeah, it has. It has. Like I said, you're busy and you're making money, and I'm just sitting around waiting to get some help so I can get some. But that's another thing. Hey, I think first and foremost, just making a little list of stuff. Number one on my list, of course, is Aaron Rodgers. Your thoughts just real quick on Pittsburgh. He gets there finally. And, which was shocking. I heard a little rumor before he went to Pittsburgh and signed the contract that he had gotten married. And I said, wow, how could you do that and keep all that so quiet for all this time? But he did it. And so Aaron Rodgers, happy man right now.
Happy man. Good for him. Congratulations to Aaron. And I hope, everything went well for him. And it seems that whole break and hiatus and all that, now it makes sense. And me and Bob Papa, when we were doing different shows on Sirius XM, we had multiple conversations about Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers, what is happening behind the scenes in that situation. And we both had that feeling, and even as we discuss it too, you and I, that the Steelers, we understand now why they didn't draft a quarterback early on in the draft. We had a feeling that they wouldn't. We had a feeling that Aaron Rodgers was coming to town. It just was going to be on Aaron's terms and time frame, and it played out that way. Overall, though, dude's going to be motivated, I think, to kind of rewrite what has been written about him, especially here in this New York area with what happened with the New York Jets.
Yeah.
So he's going to be motivated. Very curious to see what the offense looks like. Towards the end of the year, I thought Aaron threw the ball extremely well. Thought the offense was actually more aggressive finally. And it was just too little too late, I think, for him to change the way that Jets fans and the Jets ownership felt about him.
Yeah, new coach too.
Yeah. But we did see that he still has the talent to be dynamic throwing the football down the field. He could still make those throws. He still is savvy in the pocket. Maybe not quite the same athletic runner or scrambler that he once was, but dude can still get it done. What do you expect to see, I guess, or what are your expectations for Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers now that they are a happy, married couple?
Well, listen, it's all in. Why did the Steelers didn't want it? They didn't want to draft a quarterback because what's that mean? Kind of starting over and everything, and we're going to do everything for the young quarterback, and is that the best thing for your team? I would say this about Aaron Rodgers: when you see the little stuff that you see on TV, him rolling out and all that, I can say here, and I think I'm 100% right. He is in the best shape and changed his body a little bit to fit really who he is. When you have an Achilles injury and like he had, okay, it's better, but it's always, Matt, it takes time for everything to come back 100%. His movement, his exercising, his throwing, and you are right. At the end of the year, he was throwing the football. This guy, listen, that arm, they need to cut it off and put it in some museum or whatever, because it's unbelievable. It really is. His hand action is unbelievable. The power, the speed, and you can almost you can see that it rotates so hard it almost wobbles. And so, hey, Pittsburgh's offense, what are you going to do? I'm tired of hearing just about the quarterback. How about the defense play a little better also? That would always help. And Arthur Smith, I'm looking at him. I know Aaron Rodgers is going to have some input, but I'm looking at Arthur Smith to see, can you come up with the offense that has a little more diversity to it instead of we're going to run the ball and play defense. Okay, that's great. And everybody is running the ball better in the NFL. So that's just some of my thoughts. I think a lot of pressure on Arthur Smith. Can Aaron Rodgers, if he's given the opportunities, man, I think he'll come through big time. I really do.
Yeah, you have always been a big supporter of Arthur Smith and feel like we didn't get a true sampling of what he brings to the table in Atlanta, given the quarterback situation, given just their entire team situation when he was the head coach there. I'm still a little bit on the fence. Of course, we've seen moments where it has really worked out well for him. Of course, they're in Tennessee. But my other concern, I think, with the Pittsburgh Steelers in their current situation, too, is just, what does the offense look like as far as, DK? How is he impacting the offense? Robert Woods, Calvin Austin. On the backups, you got Roman Wilson, Scotty Miller, Skoranek. These are other guys. Of course, Pat Freiermuth, right, being a really good weapon for them at the tight end position. Darnell Washington. But just kind of how do we place all these pieces together for it to be a dynamic offense? Or are they going to settle for, let's play controlled tempo football, let's win close games, and let Aaron Rodgers be that finishing touch, because he does have the experience and the ability to take us down there in 2-minute drives and win games. So I'm just kind of curious how aggressive and how explosive this offense will be, considering that, in the past and most recently, we haven't quite seen that from the Steelers, even as an approach.
Well, let me say this. Okay, it's not going to be an explosive offense.
Yeah.
What you just said to me, where's all the explosives coming from?
Right.
We got some guys that we know, they got some success in the league. DK Metcalf, this is big. Are you as good as you were? We think you are. Are you going to live up to what, all those things? And again, it comes down to this. I look at that group and I go, I'm being kind. It's the middle of the NFL for rating them. I don't even know if it's that high. So when you get teams like that, or an offense like that, or the talent like that, now it's up for the offensive coordinator to help them out.
Right.
And of course the quarterback too. So that's where I am. And before we came on, I just asked you a question or two about Pittsburgh's offense. You were reading it up to me. I'm going, nah, that doesn't excite me. But
yeah,
what they're hoping for, the defense comes through, all that, the coaching, and when the opportunity's there, Aaron Rodgers has got to be a little special to make them better than they are. That's what you hope for.
Yeah, so. And they got Jalen Warren at running back still. They drafted Caleb Johnson, from Iowa. Very good football player, physical runner, strong runner. So I think he'll fit into that Pittsburgh Steelers mentality really well. Overall, yeah, I'm excited for them. Of course, it's going to be must-watch TV again, like it was for the New York Jets and all that. And, it's just going to be, how does Tomlin, Smith, Aaron Rodgers, and what does that relationship look like in comparison to Saleh and all of them? That's where I want to see the difference between what we saw in New York and what we saw in Pittsburgh is how does that relationship look in comparison, and how are the levels of power distributed?
We got two really, really strong personalities on that sideline.
Yeah.
And of course, we know about the head coach, what he is, but Arthur Smith, he's a tough guy. He says it like it is. I mean, it's going to maybe be a little difference with Aaron Rodgers there, but Arthur Smith, he's a big dude, and I don't think he shies away from what you're talking about. So right. I think that part is going to be really good. The team, the team and the way they're coached and built, they're not going to be one of these teams everybody's talking and ruining stuff. So I'm excited about the Steelers. I want to see this. I want to see if it's a great success or a tragedy. However it falls, it's going to be fun to watch.
It is, and it's important, I think, for Aaron personally and just his legacy of just how it unfolds here, right, this next year.
Yeah.
Because there's no doubt that it's kind of taken a knock these past few years and being with the New York Jets. So we'll see how it goes. All right, big guy. What are some other thoughts? You want to talk about the G-men now?
Not yet. No, let's the tension's building.
Okay.
No, I want to, of course, I say this every time we do a podcast. I listen a lot and I read. But, and everybody's looking for something to talk about during a dead period, which it is in the NFL. But the Denver Broncos, I think they're going to take a step back this year. Bo Nix is could have the sophomore slump. I mean, come on. Can't we come up with something better than that?
Yeah.
It's always, he had the sophomore slump. Did he? Whatever. But Bo Nix, this would be his year to have a sophomore slump. And my first thought is, no, he's not built that way. The son of a coach, a very successful one. We've seen enough of him in everything that we can talk about. And I'm not going to say it. College, the pros. Did he answer the bell in the pros or what?
Yeah.
My God, I think he was terrific. Really was. He looks bigger on the field than he did in college. The damn guy, his arm strength, we're worried about that. Really? Man, he threw more complete rocket shots in cuts than that in the end last year, especially against with all the other rookie QBs. I mean, I thought he was terrific. So real quick, I'll just say this to you. Slump, do you know who the head coach is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't look at him and say he might ease up a little. I mean, he's going to come in there and he's going to burn him up right from the start. That's Sean Payton. You had a chance to be around him a little bit, and I'm sure you were like, damn, this is awesome. Because he coaches hard, and he's really truthful to what he thinks about you, the team. So that's one thing. But let me just do this real quick, and I'll let you go. Matt, you can talk. They signed Evan Ingram. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Noah Hufanga from the 49ers. I don't like him. I love him. Dre Greenlaw, love him too. Then he went out and drafted Harvey, the running back from Central Florida, who I liked, could be a big playmaker. So you just see that on both sides of the ball. Second year head coach or the coach with the quarterback. Man, I think Denver's going to be a pain in the rear big time for any team they play. I don't care who they play. They can match up against anybody. What are your thoughts?
I think the sophomore slump conversation really is just something that people say just to say it. I don't even know if they necessarily believe it all the time. But I think that the Denver Broncos are in a great position to build off of what they did last year. Absolutely. I'm in total agreement with you. I have complete faith in Sean Payton, in Bo Nix, and what they're doing offensively. You're right. RJ Harvey, very sneaky good football player that, of course, just got lost in the mix of a lot of really good football players during the draft, and especially the running back position because of how deep that room is. We saw how talented the defense was a year ago with their depth, with their ability to pressure the quarterback and get after it and cause turnovers and make some stuff happen. So I think that the Denver Broncos are in a really good position to build off of last year, make improvements. Bo Nix, have complete trust and faith that he is going to evolve as a more secured veteran football player and leader. I think that's one thing that a lot of people miss out on. He showed and displayed, I thought, real visual leadership when you watch the games. And that's something we've discussed about other quarterbacks in the past where we'd like to see that more often. Even saw Chris Sims the other day say that he wants to see that about Justin Herbert more, to be a little bit more of a visual and vocal leader. I don't think Bo Nix has that problem. And I think that's going to really benefit him and Sean Payton going forward for this season. So I totally agree with you. I think that the Broncos are set up to make another playoff run. Now, are they a Super Bowl type of team and all of that? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if I'm going to be so bold to make that prediction, but there's enough pieces in play for them, again, to be a wild card type of football team and to make a run if they get hot at the right time because of the head coach, because of the quarterback, because of the depth that they have to be able to rush the passer. And not only this is one thing that I think a lot of people forget about too. This is a skill group. Okay, listen to this group. Okay, yeah, Pat Surtain, your boy Hufanga. Okay, Brandon Jones, Riley Moss, Jahdae Barron. All right. That is a really good secondary. And I think that is the cornerstone of their football team that everyone forgets about. We got all the excitement on the offense side of the football because we have Sean, because we have Bo and all that. But, man, it's going to be hard to consistently tear up this defense because of the different looks that they give you defensively, but also their ability to just say, F it, we're playing man coverage. We're going to lock some people down because they're going to have one of the more talented secondaries in the league this year.
Yeah, D coordinator's pretty damn good too.
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. But now, he's in that, okay, he's the D coordinator, but he's under Sean Payton now for a couple years. So that's going to change who he is. And of course, he's kind of vocal anyway. But yeah, everything you said there is so true. Great leadership. Bo Nix he knows how to be the quarterback, how to act, what to say, how to play. I mean, it's all good. The problem is with the Denver Broncos, we have this team called the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, and then we have the Raiders, who improved just by the coaching staff alone is going to make them better. And they got Geno Smith, which I think is a big upgrade. So enough about them. But the one that you look at, Matt, the Los Angeles Chargers. Mm-hmm. Wow. Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman, the offensive coordinator, they established who they are as coaches and turning the team around. And, you and I talked about this randomly a few days ago or whatever, but I think it's a really big year, of course, for Jim Harbaugh and the team and Justin Herbert, but also for Greg Roman. Yeah. Because we got to look, they established we're tough as hell. I am strong-willed. Greg Roman talking about, I am very strong-willed that we're going to run that damn ball, have success, and play off of it. And he would stay with it, to me, too long some games, but he knew how to turn that switch, and all of a sudden, you got the cannon thrower there at quarterback, and all you need is about this much space, and he's going to rip it in there.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't do very good in the playoffs. Well, no kidding. Who was going to play well with that protection and what went on against the Houston Texans? But, let me go through it real quick, Matt, and you do it. They got Hampton, the running back from UNC.
Hampton, very good football player.
He needed the speed. Then they got Trey Harris, the wide receiver from Ole Miss. Loved him. Of course, I watched a lot of him because of Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
And then they drafted in the 5th round, Keandre Lambert-Smith, another big receiver. So we see kind of who they want to be. Let's be tough and big receivers. Kennard, the outside linebacker from, I thought, South Carolina. Hell, South Carolina had a pro defense. Should have played better. And then Jamari Caldwell, the D tackle from Oregon. So, man, I guess I'm saying all those names because they kind of had the same qualities.
Yeah.
They're big, they're rugged, and, it's kind of going back to the Chargers, who they've always thrown to for years. They got these big receivers who can run routes, but also they can body up. And Justin Herbert is probably, in my eyes, the number one quarterback in making those kind of throws where it's tight, but he throws a rocket to the right hip or whatever it takes to get the completions. And, they just added to that receiver group to make, I look at it as a very dangerous football team.
I like it too. I think you're making fantastic points. And to add another name to that list, Arondé Gadsden, tight end from Syracuse, who's not necessarily a traditional hand in the dirt tight end, but big, strong, physical, can run decent enough routes, really more so a good physical presence that can catch the football while being contact, while being big over the middle. That's exactly what he did for the Syracuse offense. And Colin McCord last year was just a master at in cuts, seams, and just finding that soft spot in zones and allowing McCord to drive the football in there and contested zone coverages. And he's going to do the exact same thing, too, with Justin Herbert now in this offense. So I totally agree with you in that situation. Curious to see, with all that being said, does Quentin Johnston, right, is he more comfortable another year now, a part of this offense and what they do? We know already Ladd McConkey is a rising star in this league and very versatile to what he can do. Trey Harris, you're right, immediate impact. Excited. And you're right. Harbaugh, it's really simple. Just like how he was in San Francisco, just like how he was in Michigan, and even to Stanford. They're big and they're strong, and that's the main focus. They want to win with a power brand of football, and they want their quarterback to be able to throw powerfully to their big, strong players down the field. And that's his recipe for success. And to add to what you said earlier, which I think is so true, I just think that Greg Roman needs to be a little bit more proactive with how aggressive he is with explosive passing plays within their offense. And more so first and second down, because there was too many situations, I think, for Justin Herbert. Run. Okay, make the throw. We got to be a little bit more just versatile with how we attack it, and know that he's capable of doing it. Just want to see it be more a part of their identity going forward with the physical nature of their offense. But you're right. A lot of good pieces, and the AFC West, it's amazing. Just loaded with coaching talent, loaded with football player talent, loaded with quarterback talent. And it's going to be a fun watch for sure. And it's going to be very difficult for the Chiefs to kind of keep their control of that league going forward.
Great thing said. I didn't think about it. Damn, the coaching's that's unbelievable too. And listen, Greg Roman, and again, just to pick up for him, I think they were trying to really establish who they were trying to move forward to.
Yeah, right.
That year was very good. They weren't going to win the Super Bowl no matter what happened and how they played.
Right.
But they got to the playoffs. They kind of established it. Now what they do, well, we added all these other nice pieces to what we did, and now it's going to look different, and they're going to be different coaches. So that's going to be fun to follow.
And the reason why I think we both say that about Roman, just to encapsulate this conversation, is that there already is a narrative in the media world about him. And that's why we say, right, that it would serve him as well and the team to be a little bit more open as far as their offense approach, because a lot of people, I think, are very, well, he can only do so much, right? That's why Baltimore got rid of him and all that. So I think that's why we're making this point, right? Because we believe him. We know that he has the talent and the ability to do it. Of course, being with Harbaugh to bring him to the Super Bowl when they were together in San Francisco. But that's why I think also we make this emphasis as well, because the media just really doesn't know. But I think it's easy for them to kind of put him in the corner in that situation because of that.
Of course it is. Well, let's look at the numbers. It's QBR, QBR.
Your favorite.
Whenever I come on here and say it, like I say it for real, I want to say something. Just, Matt, come in and go, Dad, let me see everything, because I think you're crazy and stupid now, because you're whatever. Talking about QBR, baby.